Aloha, gang. Here we are. It's an Aloha Friday. And yes, the dogs get their afternoon treats right now. Oh, you don't want it? No, you don't want it. Okay, your choice. The other three can, other two, total of three. One out, the other ones get it. And okay, they're all happy. Cassie, it's your choice. Do you want a treat or not? Okay, yes, you want a treat. So, hey, guys. So yes, it is Friday. We had a weird kind of short week here in Hawaii because we had King Kamehameha Day in the middle of the week. So some people had it off, some didn't, but we are now getting to weekend. Yes. But before we kick that off, last night I posted an update in Seraya's case, and I haven't been able to get this out of my head all day. Okay, not at all. But first, let's see. I got some people popping into chat. So let's say, hey. We got Seal. Seal and I have both been talking this one like crazy. And this, guys, you know me. I usually keep my suspicions out of cases like crazy. I don't like to go talking about things, but I've got a couple feelings in certain ways in this case, and they're getting harder and harder to keep quiet on. So, we're still going to be fair, okay, and try to make sure we're looking at both sides of things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting a little frustrated because this 2-year-old baby, I don't give a shit what in the world has happened in the past. This 2-year-old baby needs to be home. That's all. That's all. It's not that hard. Okay. A little baby needs to come home and be with their family. That's it. Not just one family. Okay. I don't care about the past, deal with child family services, whatever. Yeah. It's not making no sense. Exactly. It just is not. And hello, Miss Thea. How you doing, my dear? Oh yeah, now they all want more treats. Well, I'm kind of getting low on treats, so I go to their favorite, Cheetos. I swear, give a dog a Cheeto and they are so happy. All I got to do, and what's great in Hawaii, it gets so humid, and if you leave Cheetos or something out, they get soggy. They love them that way. It works. I don't have anything go to waste. And it's the chicken lady, cluck cluck, chicken lady. How you doing, my dear? And I keep thinking and looking at pictures and all of you and the goats and everything else. I'm love it, love it. But yeah, this case, gang. I'm trying to give enough time. I'm trying not to just jump in. Actually, before anything, I did get a poster finally made for this. This one's been a little rough for me to figure out how to make because I was like, do I make 3 posters, 1 poster? How do I word things like that? But we've got us a poster, and the posters are out on I posted it on the community tab, so you can get it there. If you go to Facebook, it's underneath the my own personal account, and then also the Local My Life group. It's there also, so you can definitely grab things there also. And it will be in Discord because I just realized I never posted it to Discord. So it will be in Discord in just a couple. Once I get that place done, then we'll be good there too. So, but yeah, like I've said, this is not that hard of a issue. Okay. We've got a 2-year-old who needs to be home. Like I've said from the get-go, it no matter where they are, whether it's Mexico, Timbuktu, okay, Springfield, Illinois, what you fill in the blank, whether they're here in Honolulu, I don't care. What matters is that there is this 2-year-old girl who does potentially have healthcare issues going on, which need healthcare, okay, to be looked at, whose mom is worried to death that her daughter might be sick, extremely sick. And no matter what we feel, okay, it's wrong. And it's putting her in more danger. Those of us here in this chat know exactly what I'm talking about when I do this. How many times have we covered a missing person who's been taken by a family member and things turn out not so good in the end? Because guess what? The moment you're on the run, you're putting people in danger. Okay, if you're in this location, okay, especially okay, Mexico or something, you're putting yourself and others in danger. So just make sure, bring her home, deal with whatever's going on, but she needs to be safe. And it's just it's driving me crazy, Thea, because I'm trying not to choose. You know me, I don't like to choose sides or anything. There's one side and one side that matters, and that is Soraya's side. Plain and simple. That's all it comes down to is Soraya. And so, oh, we got some other. Hey, Megan, Princess Megan. Sorry, I missed you in there. I'm going off on a rant right now. And also, hello, hello, my dear Princess Megan. And there's butterfly kisses. Love you, my dear. Love you. I saw your message, but I didn't get to respond to it quite yet. But I love you, my dear. And well, I was on Facebook and reading everyone's messages there. And ooh, look who else we got here. We got our dear Cooter. How you doing, Miss Cooter? And what? Are you whining? Are you whining? Yeah, you're whining. And Red Rock. Hey, hey, hey. So oh, there's Miss Cristola, my dear Cristola. Love you, my dear. And I am gonna turn on AC because it is hot in Honolulu right now. It is very, very hot. And so we got a bunch of you guys here now. So I'm going to ask you guys real quickly in chat, ones and twos. Put a one in chat if you have looked at the Ong family statement. I posted it last night. Some of you may have decided just to wait till today when we could go over it, but put a one in chat if you have reviewed it. Put a two in chat if you have not. And Crystal is asking me, how hot is it? That sounds like a setup for a joke or something like that. It's actually not super, super freaking hot for us. We have a very our temperature doesn't go below a certain area and doesn't go above usually. Very seldom does it hit like 100 ever. Very seldom. It's I was driving home and it hit like 86 while I was driving according to my car. So, but it's muggy. That's our problem. We get really muggy. And those of you who know humid weather and heat, yeah, you know what I mean. Oh, see there, and that's it. It's all humidity and what it does. So, okay, who we got? We got a lot of people popping up here. We got a one. Butterfly is a one. Thea's a two. Good. Red Rock two. Good. Yes. Okay, so we got a little bit of both out there. It's 101 there. That's what I love about Hawaii. We don't go below really at night, the upper 50s. Okay, during the day, lower 60s usually is about the coldest you get, but on the hottest in the summer you may hit the upper 90s a couple and all. So it's very temperate and all, but you get used to it. You literally get used to the weather. And that's why if I go to the mainland, I freeze at 50 degrees. Okay, it's just, yeah, it's that. Oh my gosh. See, and that's it, Thea. My brother's been in Phoenix last few days on a business trip, and he's been sending us text after text of all these temperatures. Okay, oh, it's 106. Oh, it's 100. And I'm like, oh gosh. Reminds me of when I was in Texas last year. So, okay, so what we're going to do is this. I know I got most of you guys here know the case and what we're talking about. Okay. But just to remind everyone here, okay, we're talking about Seraya. Okay. Seraya. Oh, this one. Oh, supposed to be a bad. Is it supposed to be a bad year for heat? Anything over 80 is hot. See, and that's me. That's me. I like 70s, 60s, 70s. Perfect. So what we're talking about is three people here. Two of them are counted as missing. One of them has a warrant out for their arrest. Okay. The whole story, as many of you guys know, started on the 29th of May when Nadia, the 21-year-old that you see here, at Cassie, stop it. Oh my gosh, little diva. And oh, 111. Oh my God. No, 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 no. And Nadia went missing while her family had me and weather talk. I could talk weather forever. I could talk anything forever. So on the 29th, She was getting ready to go to Italy, and she was waiting for boarding to begin, and she told her mom, "Oh, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back." And she never came back. Okay, she was later seen leaving the airport. No, that's the 29th. Interestingly, the same day, the 29th, okay, Aaron Ong goes to pick up his daughter, okay, Seraya. Seraya Aung-Harmon has 50-50 custody, okay, at the time with mom and dad. So on the 29th, she Aaron went to go pick up Seraya from her mom. And yeah, what bingo steal. I mean, that I'm still trying to, I don't know what's going on there, if there's manipulation. There's so many possibilities. And I do have to say this. The Harmon family is responding to in a way that's like, we're not going to badmouth people or think anyone. Okay, there's victims around the place, all over the place. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I've appreciated that. Actually, you guys know me. I don't, even when I'm pissed at someone, I tend to not go after them. That's just me, and I appreciate that. I really do, because they're going through a lot. Okay, all these families are going through a lot, no matter what. Okay, Nadia's family, we all know, everyone's like, this is not like Nadia. This is nothing like Nadia. And also they're going through a hell of a lot right now also. And who gives up a trip to Italy just like that? Mana, yeah, I'll take, yep, exactly. 20, hey, even at 53, I'll take that Italy trip any day. I've been there and it's awesome. So Aaron goes, picks up Seraya from her mom, Samara. And as Samara has since said that day, because people have asked her, okay, this did come out. They asked her, was it quicker? Was there anything weird about that trade off that day? And she had made a comment that Aaron was there earlier than normal. Usually 6:30 was the time, and she'd be there early usually. And it'd be like 6:30, he'd come in and they trade and they talk, okay, as we say in Hawaii, talk story a little bit about stuff, okay? Oh, this is, she hasn't eaten much today, or she's done this, or oh, in this case, she had gone to the doctor to be checked out and all because of the constipation issue we've talked about. This day he came early. He was there at 6:14. So at 6:14, Samara handed, okay, Seraya over to Aaron. And she did notice this time and didn't think about it at that time, which makes complete sense. Okay, that he seemed a little bit more rushed than normal. It was a little bit more boom, 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 rather than going through all the different ideas and suggestions and questions and all that. Um, just seemed it. Okay, looking back on it, now she can see some of those red flags that she didn't see at that time. But that was the last time anyone, okay, in the Harmon family ever saw Soraya. Interestingly, same day as Nadia. We also know Nadia is last seen getting off of the link, the light rail, in the university area and walking towards the water area. And that led people to a lot of questions. Okay, could they have gotten on a cruise ship, things like that? And one of the first things I said is, hell, if you've ever been on a cruise ship, there's video, there's pictures of you. They literally, as you're getting on the cruise ship, they snap a shot of you. And because that goes onto the card so you can verify who's on. I even tried to take my best friend's nephew. He and I were going to take the nephew out when we were in Italy last year. And we could not get off the ship with his nephew without the family, mom or dad, being there to allow that to happen. That's how serious they take this, which is wonderful. So that was the last time any of them were seen. The next main day outside of Nadia being discovered missing was Monday, the following Monday, when Samara got phone calls from the police asking questions about Aaron. And she was like, wait, does any of this have anything? Do you know when Aaron had Seraya before the visit? Okay. We've been told that the visits were 5/5 5522, I think it was 5522 or 5533, something like that. This visit was going to be the 29th through the 3rd, it looks like. So the 29th through the 3rd would have been the 5 day. So I don't know it 5522. Okay, it is 2. Okay, that makes sense. That's 7 days total. Yeah. So I don't know if the 5-5 starts with Samara or with Aaron, but that was his 5 day time. So working that back, it would have had to at least be anywhere from 2 days before to 5 days before. And so that's the only thing trying to figure that one portion out was mom the first 5 and then him the second 5, or was he the first 5? Vice versa, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But on 6/3 Monday, she gets the call from the police. It was handover day. Exactly. Either way, it was handover day. Um, she gets a call from the police Monday, the 3rd of June, saying, asking questions about Aaron. And she's like, "Oh, 1 second. He's got my daughter right now. Is this about my daughter?" It's like, no, no, no. It's about his girlfriend. We're just trying to track some. She's missing right now. We're trying to figure things out. Um, and through that discussion, it sounds like it came across that not only was she missing, but it was like we're trying to get in touch with him to find out about Nadia, and we're having problems getting in touch with him. So I'm sure it popped up, hey, well, today's our day for me to get the baby back. And so they said, could you come into the police station? Because that's where they did the trade off. Can you come into the police station early today? And it is a different type of, okay, visitation. I'm going to tell you this, though. It's a 50-50. That's the dream. For most couples, okay, if you're looking for something for my brother would love that 50-50 like that. Okay, 5522 versus 7777 or something like that. A little different, but baby, baby. Yes, yep. It started January 2023. And so they asked her, please come in a little earlier than normal. That way we can update you and you can be around and hopefully trade off happens. We get to talk to him and you get the baby back. She got there. They explained to her everything that was going on. And they're like, well, is my baby okay? And they're like, well, hang out. 6:30's coming up. We'll see. Well, he didn't show up. He didn't show up. So at this point, yeah, it's like, okay, something's happened to the baby now. Okay, Saraya's missing too. It's not just Aaron and Nadia. Seraya is part of this also. Um, and at some point during this, the information came out that the family of Aaron Ong's family, were going to be bringing a note into the police department. And that note is right here. This is the Samara's copy. This I read to you guys the other day, but basically it said to them that, hey, you know what, he had taken her fishing, okay, and they'd be back, but they could be running a little late because of problems with the vehicle, someone sprained an ankle, maybe all these things. So it was kind of a lot of paperwork type thing. Okay, why you would pop up with that. But like I said the other day, it does make sense if you are worried all of a sudden your child may have absconded with a child or something. You want to make sure everything, dot your I's, cross your T's type thing. And there's some level of being smart, and that does make sense. Even though kind of weird, definitely weird. Christola just said, because they will do like, I get 5 days, you get weekends, and I get 5 days and you get weekends, and it changes hands. Oh, I get it. That makes sense, Christola. Thank you so much. That actually makes complete sense now. And so that's where all this started. For those of you who are new, who haven't quite heard the full rundown of the story, that's where it started. The only other big thing that happened after that was both cars were found in the areas, Pullman or the other area. However, it was noticed that Aaron may have had access to his parents' Cadillac. The Cadillac that you see on this right here. That Cadillac was later on seen going into Mexico. Okay, I don't know if they could see who was in the vehicle, but they did get a copy and recognize, okay, license plate reader and all. It did go into Mexico. That's why, guys, this case, probably more than most that I see, it's going to be important to get these posters out. It's not just posting posters everywhere locally, because that they could be anywhere and very possibly in Mexico. The more people we have that might be going on vacation to Mexico or in Mexico or whatever, the better off. And that's why I finally was like, I got to have a poster, another poster that's smaller for this. Because, like you guys know, the bigger posters don't show up quite as well a lot of times. So, this has been going on for the last few days. As we saw, we had pictures of Nadia getting on and off the link, the note, and stuff like that. At some point, Pullman, Washington came out that, hey, guys, we got a problem here. We're looking for these three people, and they let everyone know. Hey, Joy, how you doing? Sorry, jumping in late. I got company. Hi, company. Jump in, say hi. It's been crazy month and a half. Hey, love you, Joy, and I miss you. I miss you, girl. And but yeah, company's. I just got done with company from the mainland myself, so have fun with them. Have fun, my dear. Okay, so where I want to take it next is this. A lot of us saw the other day on Nancy Grace. There was the interview Nancy and the others had with Samara, okay, Saraya's mom. We went through that. We're able to get a lot of information from that. Now, yesterday, um, this new thing popped out. This showed up online as the statement for the press from Mr. and Mrs. Ong. So they are the parents of Aaron. Now, a couple things for people, and guys, those of you who are following the case, please let me know if I'm getting things wrong or you have things to jump in, ideas you have, whatever, because this is a little bit more of all of us talking story this time than normal. Um, you know what, Butterfly? Maybe not today because I need to upload it in a different way when I go into Messenger. Otherwise, it can possibly show other people, if they send me a message at that time, and I don't want to accidentally share people's real names or anything. But if you want to send it to me, I can look at downloading it for the future. Definitely. Definitely, my dear, for sure. So the Ongs, just a little about the Ongs. They are not from America. America is not where they're used to being. Okay, it's a different culture, it's a different way of dealing with things, different. Okay, I'll be honest, as someone who lives in a more Asian centric community, okay, you have different thoughts about family, different thoughts about life in general. And that's something I think important to look at when we look at this. Okay, no matter what we feel on things, we have to be fair on that level and recognize that. Because one of the things I'm noticing in this is I have a funny feeling some of the cultural differences are in play. I do have some very, very, okay, you guys are going to, unfortunately, I'm going to probably have a hard time keeping my mouth quiet on this one because in my eyes, there's only one thing that matters at this point. Again, like I've said, and that's Seraya. Okay, Seraya needs to be home. Seraya needs to be where her family, including her mom, know that she's safe. Seraya should not be in a foreign country. Seraya should not be outside of, I mean, she has rights as a little girl. If you are concerned about those things being wrong or stuff, there are ways of following through, reporting things to child family services, things like that. And I'm throwing my own temper tantrum right now. So I'm going to back off for a second. So let's start going through this real quickly. Let me pull myself here. Sorry, my mom's turning up her TV in there, so hopefully you won't hear that. And but this came out. I did find it interesting that it basically came out as a website. I shared the website on my community tab last night beforehand. Very interesting that rather than just putting out a press release or something, and that might be something with the cultural difference, not sure what's the best way to do it. Some of the questions I've had in the back of my head with this is anyone talking to them as they're dealing with this? Do they have a lawyer? Do they have, because it just feels like it doesn't feel like something that to me personally, what do you guys think who have read it? Is this something that you feel a lawyer or someone with a PR background or something may have sat down with them ahead of time and been like, okay, yeah, you want to do this? Okay, no, 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 don't say that, things like that. Um, do you feel that they had that type of guidance or not? I love the pictures, Christola, exactly. One of the best things about this is the increase in pictures we have, because the Harmons have been sharing tons of pictures and all, and it's been wonderful to see them. And it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't seem like someone with knowledge has been helping, because there's a lot of things in here that have led to more questions or things like that, that people, it's like almost, there's a thing of oversharing too, whether innocent, guilty, whatever. Um, I'll be honest with you, there's been a part of me that every time I look at this, I'm like, it's screaming the laundries to me. And I don't want it to cover, and I have to keep pulling myself back and saying, okay, girl, you have a rule, okay, with yourself, that you have to be fair and you always have to try to look at things from both sides, and always remember, this is about the victim, it's not about all the other things that happen. And that's been my biggest issue here, is that this doesn't seem to be about Seraya as much as it is trying to come up with reasons why it happened. And it's an excuse. You don't take a child like this. This is not, no. um an attorney would have advised them not to put a questionable info, exactly. And they are mandated. That's true too. So if they had known that, they may, yeah, and that's possible. It doesn't seem like it was it doesn't seem like it was pre-planned, if that makes, no, no, I understand. Some people are wondering, was this something pre-planned or not? And also, so let's start going through this. So we have here her birthday. We just talked about, she just turned 2 years old. We now, I had been wondering about her birthday, when it fell and all that, because she looked pretty close to 2. And so it was on April 8th, which does make sense. And I'm not sure if that's her actual birthday or not, but you can see the party was in Pullman. And you could, that was her first birthday, I just noticed, not her second. Sorry, I just caught that one. And also, and anyone, I don't know if it's the same with Burmese culture, but here in Hawaii, first birthday is huge. First birthday, you literally have parties, not just birthday party. You have parties with 100+ people at them. You celebrate it because this is, your baby made it through their first year healthy. Okay, because so many cultures that was not something, and that's why I'm wondering if in Burmese culture would that have been something like that. Okay, that you celebrated that first year to the extent that a lot of other cultures do that. I'm not sure about that. So, okay, we're going to read through this. Aaron Ong and Nadia Cole are extremely responsible, resourceful, smart young adults with excellent work ethics. Aaron is an operations manager responsible for teams across multiple business divisions with a goal to join the National Guard. Nadia, a Washington State University graduate with a high GPA, was studying for her law degree. They both have high moral standards, a strong sense of justice, right and wrong. Both are very compassionate and loving individuals. Seraya, our most precious granddaughter, is in very capable hands. So the first thing I'm recognizing here is they're acknowledging that Seraya is with it. Interestingly, I thought that they immediately, again, they're connecting Nadia in with this. Now, those of you who know and watched the video with Nancy Grace, Samara made the comment that it seemed that Seraya did like Nadia, and that's good. And we hear that actually from Samara's mom. Later on, I'm going to show you something she wrote. And it looks like they're all agreeing she like, which is good. Okay, that is good. But it's, yeah, bingo, yeah. also comes across like they're in on it, and that's what's getting me here. That's why I'm kind of mentioning laundry and all that. I'm kind of getting that feel of someone who was like, we know it was something maybe they had discussed in the past or stuff like that. We're going to come across later discussion on the healthcare side, and it just gives me this feeling like they may have known what was in the plan. And um, but immediately here they're like, oh yeah, they know what's now. Of course, that brings people into thinking, well, were you part of it? Number one, okay, have you heard from them? Have they heard from them? Our family's observation on the inside is they acted on Seraya because they felt she was in imminent danger. Our family observed how much Nadia took to loving Seraya and caring for her like her own daughter. Now, we're going to go through some things, and there's some stuff in here that I've got major problems. I am never, ever, and I don't care. Most people know this about me. I don't like victim bashing. I don't like making people look bad. Okay, just to make a point. I don't like that. Okay. Even a person that I don't like personally, I will never do that to them. That's just something in me. I don't feel comfortable doing it. And there's some stuff being said here and being worded in ways that it almost makes it feel like they are trying to do just that. So, um, but they do go through ever. Yeah, Christola knows me real well. I feel very uncomfortable if I even find myself getting close to it. That's why this is even getting hard for me right now. But yeah, this thing here, imminent danger is a possibility all the time. And when you have a child and you're worried about imminent danger, okay, you have a responsibility to that child. But that responsibility is to go through legal processes. Okay, make the reports. Okay, call police, call law enforcement, call child and family services. Okay, you have to go through, you can't take justice on your own. And that's something I kind of get the feel of here. I do have to say I was so happy with this picture because this is a cute picture to look at. Okay, this is Nadia and Seraya, and does look adorable with them. And uh, and Nadia, Seraya does look like she's very happy. And all we can hope is, even though Seraya should be at home right now, is hopefully, and Samara made this comment, all she can hope right now is that Seraya feels like she's on a trip and she doesn't even know all of this hell that's going on in the background. That she just thinks she's having a fun camp out with family or something like that. And that's all they can hope for. On the day before Aaron was supposed to be leaving for a trip to Montana. So here's that Montana trip, the fishing trip we keep hearing about. Mrs. Ong received a series of alarming text messages from Samara Harmon about the health condition of Seraya and shared that with Mr. Ong. Samara's text messages suggested that Seraya had a very large swollen belly and her intestines were about to explode. Now, this goes along with what we have heard from Samara saying that, okay, Seraya was fighting extremely severe constipation, which she was taking her to the hospital for, to Pullman. Okay, I did get that confirmed actually. And she had medicine, okay, that Seraya was supposed to take, needs to be kept hydrated, okay, fend off dehydration, all of those things that are important there. And that's scary. We've got moms here in this chat right now, and they know it doesn't matter how serious or not. The moment you hear that your child has something that could potentially get worse if not taken care of, your worst thoughts come into your mind. So it looks like they got the message and they decided to act on that message. How they did that is this way. Before Seraya left with Aaron for his trip, and this is interesting, I do those quotes. I don't know if I'm reading into things, but that was kind of weird, the use of quotes there. For his trip to Montana, Mr. Ong and Aaron Ong called the emergency room director at Pullman Regional Hospital to make sure they understood Soraya's health condition. You guys know I'm in healthcare. This area here gave me a lot of, while I'm reading it, please tell me in chat what you guys are thinking about those of you who read this, what are your thoughts on this? Because Seal knows this about me with this one. This is where I was having some issues. And the report from the emergency room director was that the constipation Seraya was experiencing was normal, and that water, prune juice, and some other medication will take care of the problem. Additionally, the director said this was common among children even up to the age of 10, and it was not a serious condition. Given this report, it was a good to go for Seraya on her trip with Aaron. This confirmed the unstable, misleading personality of Samara, which was very familiar to the Ong family. Okay. Couple things I've had, and I've had a couple other people mention and all that. My thought here, first of all, a lot of people have brought up HIPAA. Okay, my thought is Aaron was probably on the record with them as her father. This is the only way I can make this make sense. Okay, because if a parent is on it, you could, in theory, call up. But the problem is this: there's no proof. They may be able to talk to you in generalities. Okay, if you go and say, oh, yeah, my child was diagnosed with blah, 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 blah. Okay, are they okay? They may give you generalities. And what they're saying here is the normal generality. Okay, that they give them water, prune juice, and some medications, okay, to get them more, okay. That's the normal generalities. Usually your generalities are not much more than what Dr. Google can tell you. Okay, for an emergency room director now, this is just my thought, and every time I have ever dealt with physicians at a hospital, you're not going to have the director of a department contact you and go over this stuff. Now, could they have misunderstood this and thought it was the director? Yeah. It could have been the head nurse or something like that who was giving them information. Okay, am I saying that they didn't? I think they made the call, but I wouldn't be surprised if the responses they were getting were the generic talk, because no doctor is going to give over the phone without verifying x-rays, stuff like that. And with HIPAA, it's a very fine line there, because I don't know what the documentation looks like on that side, but there's some very fine lines there. Yeah, if they have a history and they know, okay, for example, when I was a kid, even with HIPAA, okay, the doctor that was my primary, like if they had said primary care physician, I might have an easier time with that, because primary care physician would know both mom and dad most likely, right? So then you know, because that's the issue, is you need to verify that that person is who they are. And unless you know them, it could be anyone calling up on the phone saying, hey, I'm so and so. That's why I'm thinking it might not have been the answer. Yeah, they may have been also pushing for a certain answer, and the person's just like, oh, yeah, no, if they've got constipated, yeah, this is the stuff we would tell anyone. Okay, if you call up for urgent care saying, hey, my child's constipated, what should I do for them? They're going to tell you those things. So that's something. And yeah, Crystal has dealt with kiddos and all here, and it's because they are being potty trained. Yeah, and they don't want to go to the bathroom or poop, so they hold on to it. So there's medication, and it is normal. What they're saying here is normal. Okay, it can be normal, but it can also, if there's underlying conditions, number one, could become worse. Okay, it could also be, we don't know how long term this has been going on. So that's the problem when people start filling in blanks and stuff like that. Okay, and making assumptions. We can't make those assumptions. But what I can speak on is HIPAA. Okay, I can speak on what a doctor would comfortably talk about and what they most likely would not. Okay, we don't know if they knew someone or stuff like that, but it's a very fine line. Seal is saying you do have an issue with a phone call sharing medical. Yeah. The hospital doesn't know who is on the other end of the phone. And that's the thing. That's why I'm saying, unless they happen to know that person by voice and have an established relationship with that person. For example, when my mom's in the hospital, I can usually call and talk to the doctor, and the doctor will share with me because I'm on as a power of attorney for healthcare and they know who I am. And sometimes we have to go through questions, answering all the questions and all that. So you can work within that. And, but it's just saying the director of the emergency room and things like emergency room departments usually are not going to spend tons of time explaining stuff like this. So that's something I've had a little bit of an issue. And it has to be a long term, yeah, long term for a doctor to say sepsis. And you know what? No matter what, even if this is nothing, and I am going to say this right now. Okay, say this turned out to be just normal constipation. Okay, it's possible. Okay, a lot of kids do deal with this over the course of their life. But you know what? Right now, Soraya's mom hasn't seen her baby since the 29th. She doesn't know if this has been solved or not. And she has no inkling if it's been solved or not. As a mom, okay, I'm not a mom, but I know these pups and no, they're not kids, but I treat them like my kids at times. And I definitely know that feeling of if I knew my pup was really sick and they were taken away from me for 3 weeks and I didn't know what was going on, your mind's going to play things. That's why I'm like, no, Seraya needs to be home. Someone needs to, okay. And you know what? At the least, someone let her. She even had said this. Samara said this on a text message, not text, Facebook thing on one of her posts. She just wants to know her daughter's okay. What's so wrong with that? Just let her know that her daughter is okay, that she hasn't developed issues based off of that. And yeah, butterfly. It doesn't just normally appear. It takes a while. It does take a while. My dad actually passed away from sepsis, and it does take a while to build up. And but we all also, if the person doesn't have if they're having problems with kidneys or things, or if it's attacking other organs, it gets pretty dangerous. So I wanted to address that one. And when you hear a comment like this confirmed the unstable, misleading personalities, no, all that shows me is a mom who loves her daughter and is worried for her daughter and is wanting to make sure that, okay, she's heard this horrible thing that, oh, you know what, her tummy, and anyone who's had a little baby who has gotten constipated, no, their tummy does get big. Their tummy does get big. And if you see those things and all, yeah, of course, you're going to get scared. You're going to get worried. And you have every right to get worried. You're a mom, of course. Dads have every right to get just as worried, also. And all. So, no, it doesn't show an unstable or misleading person. What it shows is a mom who's scared for her baby. Okay. Who she now knows she won't see for 5 days because of that custody thing. So she wants to make sure over these 5 days that the medicine is working and stuff like that. So, before their gone missing status, both Aaron and Nadia observed Seraya coming to their home stinking like weed, dog urine, smelling dirty like a garbage truck, and unkept. Seraya would be received with dirty nails, pin marks, and rashes in her private areas. The baby would have unusual behavior, such as saying go away when the diaper was being changed. There is suspicion that Seraya may be getting molested. All this was observed by Adele Ong, Aaron's younger sister, since Aaron would complain to her and Nadia. What I'm going to say is this. If you see things and stuff like that, report. I don't know if there were any reports. I have not heard of any reports. I don't know if any of you guys in Chatland have ever seen anything on any reports. Okay, I have not seen anything, even in here, where they said they reported it to Child Family Services and no one was doing anything about it or anything like that. Did they report it to the doctor to make sure that she was okay, especially if they were worried she was being molested? You guys know I'm a survivor of stuff like that, and that's something I take extremely seriously. And if I even have the slightest suspicion that something like that is going on, you err on the side of the child, but you do it in a legal way. And that's the problem. All of this stuff does not give you the approval to take a child and put them in more danger by taking them. You report it. And he said, yeah, exactly. Why not say something before something happens? Right. And we don't know. We don't know. That's why I'm saying I haven't seen anything about any reports. They don't mention any reports. Okay, but that's what I would be doing at that point. And when Samara lived with Aaron in various residences, she kept their home like a pigsty. Aaron would complain of having to pick up dirty diapers, sometimes up to 2 dozen at a time, all over the home. Here's one image of how of many how Samara kept one of their residences, a studio apartment in Moscow. And this is where I started running into issues. Okay. First of all, I believe it takes two people to run a house. If you're both in the house, you both have. Okay. If two dozen diapers are sitting out, then why is it getting to 2 dozen if you've got mom and dad in the house? Okay. That takes both people not to be doing something then. Okay. Second of all, yes, we share pictures, but we don't know again the whole. There was a time the other day I was cleaning up here and my house would have been condemned while I was doing that. And that's why pictures, what this almost looked like to me as I was looking at this whole press statement, it felt like they were trying to file for full custody. You know, when you have custody issues going on, it looks like they were taking all that and they're like, here, we need full custody. This is why. Well, this should have been done before you took the child. And um, there's, it's important. Hey, no problem, Seal. No problem, my dear. By report, not by a stupid blog statement after kidnapping, airing the mother's purse. Exactly. And that's it, Cat Mama. That's the problem I've got here. I'm going to read you guys at the end of this. Okay, what Samara's family has been saying. They're not attacking personalities whatsoever. Okay, and they're the ones who have no control right now. The Ong family, in theory, has a little bit more control because Aaron has all the control. Okay, Nadia may have control. We don't know the situation that's led her to where she is, but she is an adult. She's 21, so she does have the ability to make decisions. And but right now, Samara and her family have no control whatsoever over any of this. They're not character assassinating. And where they could be doing that, they're not doing that. And it just feels like that's what a lot of this is a character assassination because they feel everyone is attacking Aaron, so they feel like they have to attack someone else. Okay, I don't give a excuse me, but I don't give a shit about all this stuff right now. I care about a 2-year-old who's missing and could be hurt right now. That's what I am worried about. Okay, this stuff is out. Great, bring the baby home so you can find out what's going on now. Okay, but this is, yeah, they are being gracious. They are being gracious. The Harmon family is trying to be as gracious as they can. And it is a hard case. Okay, if they, and yes, no, and that's it. My brother, okay, had to go through custody stuff. And I know the courts can be very hard for a male to go through. Okay, the two of them had 50-50, which is great. Okay, if stuff like this is true, then those are things that need to be worked with. They need to be okay. If they need to be reported, report those things. And that's it. I feel for everyone. Who I feel for, honestly, is Seraya in this. Because Seraya, no matter what happens in the end here, her dad's not going to be in her life hardly anymore, because her dad, okay, once she comes back home, and I believe she will be back home at some point. Okay, yep, there is a GoFundMe now too. I believe she will find her way back home. Something will happen and they will be found, and she will return home. And what is going to be sad is two adults may have just ruined their lives. A 2-year-old is going to most likely lose having her dad being able to walk her down the aisle, having him at the door when she goes to prom. And the problem is, if they could have just reported stuff like this. And but no, I get what you're saying, Thea. I do get what you're saying. And that's why I keep trying to pull my, and thank you for helping to keep pulling me back too, also. Um the thing that brings me comfort in this whole thing is, I don't believe, yes, and I agree. I think both Aaron and Nadia love that baby. I do believe, with everything in my being, I do believe that from what I've seen. And I don't think they would want ever do it. And I think that's why the police, for example, they have said they have not put an Amber Alert out for that one reason, because they don't feel she is in imminent danger. That's why they don't have the Amber Alert out, according to them. And um they know she's loved and all that. Now, I have a different way of looking at imminent danger. To me, being on the run is imminent danger, because things can happen very quickly. Okay, cat mama, redline me. Nothing has been blocked, so I, not that. It might have been YouTube. Every now and then something will happen and it doesn't send something. I don't see any comment. I think the last comment I have from you is the one, grateful by report, not by a stupid blog statement after kidnapping, airing the mother's personal battles, true or not. That's the last one I have for you, cat mama. So if it's something other than that, it didn't get it. YouTube hiccuped on it. And all, but you are still here. So, and never do. And so no, but thanks for asking. Okay. Due to the custody issues surrounding Seraya, we discovered the family court system in the US is a disaster, often willing to hand over almost full custody to deadbeat moms and essentially castrating young, capable men. Okay. I personally do have some issues, especially because I have seen many amazing dads get screwed by the system. I have. From what I've seen here, though, they had 50-50. They had 50-50 care. It wasn't like, okay, he had one weekend every month or something like that. It literally was 50-50. I mean, the only thing better than that, okay, and keeping mom and dad in their life, would be them living together. There's nothing really else that they could have done. Okay, so okay, I get what they're saying, but I don't think that was an issue here. My opinion. Okay, Crystal will post the infamous a opinions are her own opinions, but that's my opinion. Okay. Samara's half brother, and then this is where I also run into issues. Again, we're into character assassination. If true, there are issues, but throwing things on the internet, we know, can hurt people. You can hurt people's future by sharing stuff that may not be completely true, may be rumor mill, things like that. Okay, Samara's half brother is reputed to be a P, and he spends a significant amount of time with Samara, whom he AR'd when he was young. Samara has various self admitted psychological issues, which she communicated by text multiple times to Aaron. Here is one she calls trauma brain. I'm sorry, when I hear words such as reputed, that is not reputed is not according to the law. Is he someone on the registry? Okay, what and on top of that, if that is, then why aren't they going and making sure it's taken to the court system and make sure that she cannot visit, okay, when he's around or things like that? The past cannot, you've got, okay, when you start doing this, that's where I run in because we've seen whole people's whole lives destroyed based off of people making comments. Okay, and when you get into stuff like, okay, they have self admitted, yeah, most of you guys know how many times have I done lives about trauma, about mental health? Mental health is not a stigma that should be hidden from. And maybe that is something from where they were from. But let's look here. Okay, the text messages, and I'll come back to that. Okay, these are from, okay, the blue would be Aaron. So these are actually from Aaron's phone. Okay, between Aaron and Samara. I'm on the phone with my sister. Just come straight. Come, please. Okay, that's fine. Okay, baby. I love. And then you get what they're talking. I'm sorry I'm like this. I'm sorry I ruined your night. I'm sorry I pissed you off. I'm sorry for everything. When I get in my head, my trauma brain makes me my decisions and affects my actions. I'm sorry I effed up and that you have to deal with it. I love you more than anything and I'll try and fix this issue. I love you. Please forgive me. Okay, and then you have a little bit of a thing go on there. Okay, yeah, that's my issue because if someone has been through anything bad in their life, whether that's connected to family, something else, okay, my issues were not family related, but they have affected my life. I've had, especially at the age of 21, things like that. I was dealing in my 20s, dealing with a lot, trying to learn how to deal with the emotions it brought up. It didn't make me any less of a human being or any less of a potential mother or something like that. Okay, how many of us send text messages to people we love and care and trust? Okay, talking with them about our problems. That does not make us a bad person. And yes, Seal, you caught the other thing I was looking at. The comments there, and I'm not saying it was from Erin, but it sounds like somewhere there she has dealt with, okay, abuse, manipulation from other people. And because that response is a trauma response that's based off of past issues. We don't know where that came from. Could it have come from something in the past? Yes. Could it have actually come from relationship with Aaron? Yeah, we don't know. And the problem is, it's not our freaking business to know. And that's the problem when they go putting things like all this out there, trying to actually, okay, exactly, cat mama. Self admitting mental health is way better than pretending a person is perfect, okay, and in denial. Okay, totally. And it could honestly, it could, this could be something that's cultural. Different cultures see mental health differently. Okay, I remember those of you who are older like me probably remember a day when you would never have mentioned. I just told Robbie a little while ago. There was a day that I never would have told people that I'm a survivor. There literally is a time in my past, and it was not that many decades ago, that I would never have said that out loud on a platform where it's out there permanently and forever. And we've come so much further, but not all cultures have come that far. So do they see that way? And that's why I'm saying it's hard, and we have to realize different people see different things different. But posting it, sharing it, doing that, this was character assassination, basically. And that's where I really was having problems as I was reading. You guys can tell because this is not, I don't normally get this fired up. And Furthermore, one or more of Samara's family is revealed to do drugs to the point of creating toxicity and domestic violence in their family. Here's an excerpt from a document provided to Aaron Ang's attorney. Okay. And so here, okay, and this is again going right back to they're trying to treat this as a custody hearing rather than the fact is their son ran off with their granddaughter. Okay, and he did not have legal right to that. Okay, what is this family? Okay, what this family is doing is putting out information so wrong. It re-traumatizes mom if true. Bingo. Mom has to deal with this. Mom has to deal with the fact I almost didn't even cover this. Honestly, I came very close to not doing it because no one should have to have this. But this stuff is out, and it's because now they put this out. And people are out there looking at this stuff and they don't realize it's kind of backfired on them. Okay. Because the amount of people who have been in these, okay, dad broke, that's it. Dad broke the law. Oh, what? Where are you going? Okay, I'm going through here. My dad's doing so I can't stay with him. Wait, where are we? My very white American born family still lives in a silent. Yeah, and that's it. So, so they go getting into this whole thing, okay, about so and so is using drugs. This is this. This is that. This is that. What matters is the baby safe right now? If the baby isn't safe right now, report it. Let people look at custody that way. Let Child and Family Services do their job. Yes, we may complain about Child and Family Services at times, but I'm going to say this right now. They do their job too a lot of times, but they're not going to be able to do their job if you don't give them the opportunity to do it. Plain and simple. They can't do the job if they're going to do that. Okay, so so they hired a PI to look into things during that time. Okay. Official witness, okay, PI. Sorry, I'm looking at chats also. Okay, our attorney in charge of the custody case in Idaho successfully negotiated. Okay, well, let me look at this first. So, reached out to Toyota Pullman and spoke with Jesse and Dylan, both service managers. Interviews found this. Let me check here. We may complain, but they also need a chance to do their job first. Yeah, exactly, butterfly kisses. If they don't get a chance to do it now, you know what? Where I would have had more trouble, and I'm going to be blunt with you guys on this. You hear of cases where a parent has run with their child. They truly feel in their heart of heart their child is in danger and they've tried to report it. And even sometimes, okay, making the reports, you'll hear where the, okay, caseworkers and all are like, yeah, there's issues, but we just can't do this. And then a parent has to make a decision or something like that. But in this case, it never got to that. And there's where we've got things. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to look at certain stuff real quickly here, and to make sure I've got all this okay. Okay, got it. So going back with this, so Toyota investigator reached out to both subjects knew of Joe Harmon, however, never witnessed any drug use. Jesse stated he observed some odd erratic behavior, nothing overt. Both subjects were agreeable, however, vehemently stated they did not know of anything of consequence. Next, they at 11 investigator called the primary number on file for Anson. No, and again, they're sharing information here now on a public level. They've made this public to all of the internet on top of everything else. Okay, which is another whole issue in my eyes. Investigator was able to make contact with the target's mother. Investigator simply gave a call back, number and name, as to not alert the mother target as to the nature of the call, trying to prevent a no callback scenario. Currently waiting on Anson to call back received from Anson, interview findings. Investigator spoke with a subject, stated Samara Harmon offered him, okay, a drug approximately 5 months ago during one of their meetings. However, he declined. He then witnessed her using. Okay, So we're getting into this thing. Okay, drug use potential. Again, report it. Report it. Because Child and Family Services, if their concern is that there's drugs being used, they can order drug testing. They can do these. Now, is it always 100%? No, it's never 100%. But you can't even try if you can't even go beyond that. Our attorney in charge of the custody case in Idaho successfully negotiated with Samara for a 50-50 split custody. Now, remember on Nancy Grace, they had mentioned could they change the location and all? And Nancy had asked that, and it had come back that she tried to. Samara tried to, but was told that, you know what, you got to call. I can't do anything about changing it. You got to call my attorney. And then when she called the attorney, she was told by the attorney, I don't represent him anymore. And which is interesting. Now, we don't know again, though, where's the rest of the story and how all that connects with everything. Crystal is saying, we all know this is what happened, but where are they? Exactly. And that's it. And I'm reading through this, and the one reason why I'm trying not to miss anything here is I want you guys to see there's nothing about Aaron, please bring the baby home. Aaron, this is not right. You need to make sure you bring them home. There's no way an attorney is okay with what's here. There's no way. There's none whatsoever. Okay, this gets into something else. However, in order for them to get their 50-50 split, okay, Samara forced Aaron to agree to the vaccination of Seraya. And this is where we go into not her being kidnapped or anything, but the whole fact that they don't agree with vaccination status and all. And that, okay, I mean, this whole thing is about that. Okay, when Samara first met Aaron, she was clearly advised about our family values. I'm sorry, the baby is Aaron and Samara's, not the family's. Mom and dad, that's who it is. And you work as a partnership to raise that child. Some give, some take. Figuring out what you're willing to give, what you're willing, okay, not to give. Odd question, but who does the car go back to, Aaron or parents? From my understanding, this has not been verified, but it's kind of a common knowledge type thing at this point that the Cadillac they're looking for belongs to Aaron's family, specifically dad. And I have not gotten an actual firm, this is it, but yeah, that's where that one seems to go back to. Pretty common thought at this point. It is not Aaron's car. Aaron's car was found in Washington. We do not vaccinate. Out of our 4 kids, only our oldest daughter was vaccinated. We did this because we did not know better back in the 90s. As parents, for the safety of our other 3 children, we did not vaccinate them. They are now strong, healthy adults. Okay, I get it. There's a lot of people who don't agree with vaccinating. A lot of people here on YouTube who don't agree. A lot of people here on YouTube that do agree. Okay, it's both sides. And but in the end, mom and dad are the ones who make the decisions, and they have to work with each other on it. When Samara was advised about how our family sees vaccines, she adamantly agreed and maintained that she believed the same exact thing. However, when the custody battle started, she used this as a tool in an attempt to gain greater custody because she knew the state will see her favorably. I don't know. First of all, gain greater custody, they're 50-50. I don't see her as having more custody than him. It's equal. What I kind of see there, just as someone, especially if she does have a background that is trauma-based, she may have at one point been trying to just fit in with everyone and saying, oh, yes, yes, and okay, kind of that level of things. But when it came down to where she's like, okay, wait, you know what? My baby's now in my arms. Okay, and we're going through this. No, I want that. Maybe this was something that she never agreed on, and she just was like, you know what? I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it at the time. I'll deal with it later and all. But I don't think it's one of these things, okay, that, oh, it was, I don't necessarily think in general the court system is going to rule one way or another based off of that because parents have a right. That's part of the court system. And again, they have equal, plain and simple. All right, just trying to figure out if someone how parents were involved or know if Aaron took the car. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are starting to wonder if they did know more. I don't know. I wasn't in the room, but there's red flags definitely. Um, Mr. Ong's father. So this would be Soraya's grandpa, the one who called the doctors. Okay, the emergency room doctor. So is it possible he's not working as a doctor right now and knows the doctor to doctor or something? Maybe. I don't know. Those are where we have to be willing to realize and could things be done without getting into HIPAA, things like that. So, but if they were having to call, I also have to, no, yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut on that one. He left Burma in the early 70s to escape a totalitarian government and was afraid for his own children's life. This whole paragraph makes no sense why it's even here. Okay, Mr. Ong now finds himself in a surreal episode having to think that the USA is heading this way, especially in the family court system, which now impacts his own kids and grandkids. Mr. and Mrs. Ong have been married for 34 years and fortunately never had to be involved in any family court proceedings prior to the incident with Samara. Um, yeah, it almost, I read this to my mom, and I'll tell you what, my mom made a comment on this, and I wondered if she hit it on the head. Okay, it's almost like they've tried to hit certain things that they know certain people out in the community will rally behind. Okay, people who will rally behind how horrible the court system is, how horrible child family services is, how horrible vaccines are, how horrible it's kind of like they're trying to hit on all those things that they know people might feel some sympathy towards or empathy. Seraya calls Aaron Dada and Nadia Mama. She also calls Mr. Ong Grandpa, Dada, and Mrs. Ong Grandma, Mama. When she was younger, she'd call our daughter Adele Mama, too, until she got older and figured out how to pronounce Adele's name. Seraya, our most precious granddaughter, is in very capable hands. Now, at first, this just tells me Seraya calls everyone Mama and Dada. Okay, and at 2 years old, that kind of makes a little sense to me. And does it mean that she sees someone as more of a mom or less? No, not at all. It just says she's a 2 year old who's learning how to talk. That's what it says to me. And it definitely, just because someone calls you mama doesn't mean you are closer to them or anything. I guarantee you she calls her own mom mama. And so that was kind of interesting there. There is one other exhibit we want to share from a document prepared for Aaron's attorneys during the custody battle. If interested, see pages after the photos. We hope this clears up any information. This same statement can be found on the ongfamilystatement.com. And then they did share pictures, which I love seeing. I love pictures. Share pictures with me, and I love it because we get to see a little bit more about the personality. And like I said from the beginning, I think Seraya, if it comes down to Nadia and her dad, she is loved. They would never do anything to hurt her. And that's why I'm hoping they'll realize this is dangerous for her doing what they're doing. But the pictures, you can see kind of the relationship and the connection that they have. Okay. Now this is the exhibit. Okay. And they're getting back into this whole thing about character assassination of one or the other. I'm not going to go specifically through all this, but again, it's about her asking for weed. Let me ask you something. Is weed approved in Washington? I think it is. Let me just ask real quick because I'm not sure. Is it in Washington? Okay. I just want to check. Yep, it is. So this is my thing here. And this is where I mean by there's a lot of cultural thought process going on here. And they're making decisions about everything going on based off of their cultural beliefs. Yeah, a lot of people, Washington State, it is. Yep. See, in fact, I just checked it out, and yes, it is. According to Google, there's an age limit. Only adults 21 and older can purchase and possess it for recreational use. Okay. Now, if we were in Hawaii, no, we do not have it approved, but they do there. So stuff like this, it might not be what they like, but does it mean a difference? Okay, it's like I don't like being around when people are smoking. Okay, I don't like it, but I've got friends who smoke. Okay, and I don't mean I'm talking just normal cigarettes. Okay, but you know what? Everyone has a right to do as long as it's legal. And so definitely I feel like his parents, I I did not want to believe that, but the more I've read this and the more I've thought on it, because I try not to just jump at it, I try to actually think on it. And again, this goes back to all the comments about, okay, her not feeling, okay, like she's now, guys, I have no idea if this happens here, but there's also sometimes we don't know what the relationship was like between the two of them back and forth. And sometimes you get a you do get on both sides and you don't know which way it is. Okay. But I think the fact she's willing to open up and be honest with him about how she feels and stuff like that is actually positive. And but yes, I need to leave here before her. And those are it's showing those thoughts and stuff like that. And that's not good. But is it our business here in internet land? No. What matters is this little girl needs to come home. Why would they go so hard for their son who broke the law? And that's the thing. They're coming down on her for everything she's done. He literally took the baby. The FBI is involved, guys. Okay, why? Now, of course, parents. Okay, some parents will. We saw this with the laundry. Some are gonna, they'll do whatever. I mean, how many of you guys have heard from people who are teachers who will deal with parents who are like, "Oh no, my kids never do anything bad" or stuff like that. That's kind of the feel that I get in this case because out of that whole thing, not once do you see them criticize, and that's kind of what got me. I was looking for just one place that they said this is wrong. One place where they said, we hope he brings the baby home. Did I miss that? Did I miss those words somewhere? Because I don't think I saw anywhere where they actually said, please bring her home so we know she's safe. If anything, it was the opposite, which is major. They do seem very enmeshed, almost too enmeshed. Okay, they seem like the type of family that they're so close to each other that do you see them? And this is me, full speculation mode gang. Okay, would they be able to be this far away from each other and not know that their child is okay? And if they are talking with him and stuff like that, then it comes right back to the point that, you know what? How is Samara feeling right now? How is her grandmother, Seraya's maternal grandma, feeling? They don't know if their okay grandbaby or daughter is safe. Are they okay? Did something happen? Is the reason why they haven't come back yet because something has happened? Your mind is going to play every bad thing in the world out. Now, this is what got me. We just went through that whole thing, and it was a lot of character assassination. It was a lot of excuses for what happened. Okay. You come here. This was posted on the Facebook group for Nadia, Aaron, and Seraya. Shauna is Soraya's grandma. Shauna is Samara's mom. They've been posting there. They've been asking. In fact, I asked the question about the hospital at one point because I didn't know I was trying to figure out the whole hospital side of things, and they came back and said no, it was at Pullman, and which I appreciated because they're trying to stop speculation. Because again, this is not about speculation. This is about getting this baby home. Now, if we have to get to the point where that's what's happening to keep it in the news so that they can keep their face in there, because if they are in Mexico, okay, someone sooner or later will see these pictures and hopefully report it. But look at the difference in the wording of things. You've already heard Samara talk and heard how gracious, okay, as Seal said, she is. Okay, and how, yes, I guarantee you she thinks all sorts of ways right now about those involved in things. But she's not bringing those public. Those are thoughts that she has for her private times. She's not going to attack or anything like that. Grandma says, I want everyone to know that your support, kind words, and prayers mean the world to us. This is a very dark time for our family, and we felt so helpless and alone. Thank you for defending Samara when she can't even make a coherent sentence through her tears. And thank you so much for continuing to share Soraya's pictures and information. You are a big part of the reason we have any hope right now. Please also remember that Nadia's family is completely innocent, whether Nadia herself is or not. And they are hurting too. We should support them in their search for their missing daughter as well. As for Nadia, she is young, bright, and beautiful. But that doesn't mean she's immune to manipulation at the hands of an entire family feeding her misinformation. We do believe Nadia loves Seraya, and we take comfort in her being with Aaron because we know she will take good care of Seraya. There are unfortunately bad people in this world, and many of us fall victim to them in countless ways. There are also amazing people in this world, and this group is proof of that. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. That said the world to me. There could have even been just one sentence in there that could have attacked, but there wasn't. They even went so far as to say, you know what, there are families hurting here. I can't even comprehend what Nadia's family's going through, gang. Okay, we know everyone says Nadia, this is so not like Nadia. Nadia has a story. We don't know what that story is, and that's why I'm not choosing things at this point, because we don't know that story yet. And we don't have any. Oh my God, that was weird. That was a StreamYard crash. My mom's watching TV and I'm like, no, her internet's working. Hopefully I'm working still. Let me know. Let me know if I did. I'm like, oh no, what's going on? Oh, my crashes, and we all run back here to make sure it wasn't us. Exactly. I'm like typing to you guys. I'm like, okay, no, no, they're getting the text, they're getting the messages here, so it's got to be StreamYard. And also, of course, I lost my other thing. Let me pull the slides back up real quick. And also, oh my God, I hear that had to be a StreamYard glitch. I don't know what happened with them, but something happened for sure. So, but yeah, no, what I was saying within that, guys, yeah, the tone was totally, in fact, who was it who just made a comment on that too? I saw someone made a comment on it. Okay, the tone, great. Cat Mama said it. Such a different tone right there. Yeah, the tone was totally different. And part of that is graciousness. And I'm trying not to let difference in like approach. I don't want differences in approach to color my vision as to people, whether they're innocent or guilty or things like that. Because approach is there. If there's one thing I learned from living in Hawaii, is that different cultures see things and approach things differently. And you can't judge others based off of how you see the world. Okay. But we can come back to the law. And that's where my thing is. Okay, there are issues there. There are things that are just ethics based. Some of what was said there, I think, is a full ethics based thing. In fact, I was not comfortable sharing some of that stuff. And I had to keep saying to myself, hey, they're the ones who did it. Okay, they're the ones who are trying to blast this everywhere. And I think someone needs to speak up for her also. And because anyone who's been in many of those positions, okay, whether it is as a survivor of something or just mental health in general, okay, no one should be destroying the rights of other people to have mental health. It's not even a right thing. It's just, we're human. There's nothing wrong with having mental health issues. Nothing. Oh, do they? I was wondering that. Interesting. Which is very interesting because the way I was reading a lot of those things, I was kind of reading it as more paternalistic. But that's very interesting. I can tell when I wasn't sure. Who do you think wrote that, guys? We're in total speculation mode. Please know this is speculation. That's one thing a lot of people were wondering. Who's written this? Is this being written by the parents? Is it being written by a child? I don't see it as a lawyer. I do not see a lawyer writing like that whatsoever. You think it was mom? Yeah. I found some of the wording with that, especially when they were talking about, I could, like the mama and dad at it. That kind of got me. I was like, so, yeah, she calls Nadia mama and her dad dada. I can see that and all, but then going the next step of making sure to let everyone know that she calls her grandparents that also. Okay. That kind of gave me the feel of someone very close. It's someone who's very, very close. And interesting. That I wasn't sure if some have said mom and dad. I mean mom. Some have said sisters. Did make me interesting, did make me think of your mother-in-law. And raising a child is rough. What's interesting, if it is a maternalistic, okay, matriarchal system, then Samara actually is that matriarch, except if it goes to the top of the matriarch. Because there are certain systems that, yes, it may be a matriarch system, but you don't mean anything in that system until you're the top of that system. There are certain cultures like that. Okay, you're just one of the females until you become the one in charge. And so not sure if that comes on there. You definitely can see it's two families who do not see life in the same way whatsoever. And that's fine. That's fine. Okay, it's just what you do with the information. And the law is the law is the law. Okay, your child, if you're worried your grandbaby or your niece or your child is being abused, report it. There's a reason why those systems are set up there. I will let you know this. One of the things I've seen now twice, there have been reports from the other side against Aaron. I've seen that now twice. And it's from first person saying we have made reports ourselves. And that's coming from the Harmon family towards them. So that's interesting on its own. Lot of different things going, but where it comes down to is there's an interesting comment under one of the Moscow police face about his parent. Oh, I'll have to take a look at that. If it comes down to anything, you've got three people here right now. Let me go to the poster. Poster right there. Okay. Aaron, your family loves you. That much is evidence. Okay. Total evidence right there. You are loved and adored by your family, and they cherish you. Okay. I don't think any of them would like to get news that something happened in Mexico to you. I'm still going to stand by that thing that it is not safe there. Okay, I don't know where in Mexico they would be, but if there's certain locations in Mexico that are not safe. We have heard how many times of people being killed there. And right now, all it would take is one person to decide they're going to grab Nadia and Seraya. So you're not he's not even safe at this point. Okay, Nadia is a gorgeous young woman who had such a future ahead of her. But even beyond that, the family and the friends who've spoken up for her and they're there for her and they're like, you know what? They want her home. They don't want to have the nightmares of what might be happening right now. And then, of course, Seraya. Okay, there's no way her mom isn't scared to death. Okay, the 29th to today, 3 weeks. If she did have constipation, she needs to know. Has it resolved itself or is it still an issue? Has anything bad happened? All those things, those are in you, and you can't stop your head from thinking of those. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm really hoping one of these three, I mean, at the least, notify the Harmon family in one way or another to let them know that the baby is safe. At least give mom that amount of peace. Okay, even better, just come home. Just bring her home, please. And make sure everyone is safe at that point. So, but thank you guys so much for joining me. It's Friday night. Oh my God, I totally messed up. I thought I had a karaoke night for tonight, and it was next week. So I got to go schedule karaoke for next week. And also, by the way, got to see what you guys think about this. Has anyone heard where CrimeCon's going to be next year? Let's see if anyone in chat, any of you guys in chat right now, where's CrimeCon happening next year? Fall of 2025. Maybe I should double check this before I say it, but I'm pretty sure I saw where it was. And it is in, let me make sure I've got this correct, CrimeCon 20, because this one I may have to go to. Yes, I am correct on this. I did get no, I was, Seal, if we can ever put together a meet and greet in Hawaii, I guarantee you, I will make sure to be putting stuff together for everyone. CrimeCon 2025 is in Denver, Colorado. So for those of us who have certain friends in Denver or live near Denver, we've got to come together. Yep, Colorado. Cat Mama said it. Sid, welcome, Sid. And you've got Adele Ong's sister is posting YouTube videos trying to expose lies as we speak. Oh, interesting. I will have, do you have the name of her channel or anything like that? I know she's been out making comments and stuff. And that's why I try to walk it. I do have to say what I feel at the same time. But right now, baby needs to come home. Plain and simple. Yes, Denver is going to be awesome. So we will see what happens. We will definitely see because fall, Colorado, Denver. I mean, I lived in Denver for a few years, so I have friends there that I haven't seen since I was in high school. And it would be so cool to put things together. Okay, Sid, I was holding off for that. Her channel is Adele. Okay, got it. You found it by searching Aaron. Okay, got it. I'm gonna go take a look at those things. So because I do. I it's important to me and most of everyone on this channel to see all sides of things. It really is. It's very important. And that's why I usually don't come out like I did today, but there were a lot of things that I had some issues with on there. Um, yeah, I get what you're saying, Sid. And I try to stay. In fact, if you go back to my earlier videos, I was like, yeah, but we got to be willing to accept this or that. But I don't do well with character assassinate on either side. In fact, I'd say the other way. So, ooh, grateful. Gabby Petito Foundation has a raffle for 2 tickets, and oh, I'll have to take a look at that. So, but if we ever put together something in Hawaii, I'll organize the whole thing for you guys. You just got to get your butts out here. So, okay, I am out of here. Sid, thanks for letting me know. Actually, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. So, I am, those videos contain the police report, the ones on Adele. Oh, perfect. I'll go take a look at that. So, aloha, everyone. Cassie is back and she's now eating a Cheeto. Say bye. Yeah, she's got the Cheeto in her mouth, but love all of you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Aloha, mahalo, and have a great weekend, guys. Happy aloha.